Alright, I'm on hole number 9 of the 2019 Summer Major. I am practicing today. It's in Monday's practice round. So if you're looking for pure demos, you're probably not going to get them today. Today is all about testing red lines and testing what clubs we want to bring. Some of these holes are pretty straightforward, like this one. Hole number 8, it's pretty straightforward. But some of the holes are not. Now this hole right here, I got one time. And I'm just... I'm just unsure. If you come at it, okay, let's look at the green. The green is the determining factor here. I mean, the wind is going to play a factor here too. If we're getting wind that's going in this direction, then we should theoretically get our first shot with wind going in this direction and our second shot with wind going in this direction. So if we hit out here, now we're hitting our second shot into a side wind. If we hit out here, now our second shot should be coming in with tailwind, and it's much easier to adjust out tailwind than it is to adjust out headwind. But sometimes it's harder, so you have to look at the shot. So like if you're way down in here and you're engaging this rough at all and you have a tailwind, you better make a great wind adjustment, or you better give yourself enough room, or you'll end up clipping that rough. And it looked like here's the green, and then it drops off, and then where this spot is much lower, so you're going up this little hill, and it doesn't take a lot to get over to get up there. If you come out on this side and you come out into here and you're coming at the green, you better bring clubs with backspin in order to be able to engage on the other side of this. Otherwise you're going to have to start over here and side spin curl it towards the hole. And anytime you add the word curl into a shot, you automatically diminish that shot's chances of going in because it's not repeatable. This shot out here is, it looks like you're going to have to bring a big club to get from out here to get up there. So if you've got underdeveloped clubs, there's a lot of holes in this that are definitely going to be big dog. You're going to have to learn how to hit your big dog on this one. And I'll tell you, the big dog, you look at the big dog and you go, wow, it's really inaccurate and it doesn't have a very good ball guide, but it has everything else. It's got great curl, it's got great top spin, it's got great power, it has a little bit of backspin. With that type of club, if you're bringing your big dog and you're like, well, it doesn't have enough backspin, you brought the wrong club. Okay, big dog, okay. That's to get you that distance that you need with a wood. It's not the club to bring when you need backspin shots. That's why we have a Guardian or an upper level sniper or some other club. But it does have some backspin, so it works really good in a lot of situations. So if you're hitting out here, you're probably going to have to bring a bigger club unless you've got better developed clubs. But this is a tricky little deal here, and obviously the more you can get down into this, the better. I haven't seen anybody yet, but then again, I haven't played this hole that much, where they're trying to lay it up right here. Instead of trying to get out here and then get down to the end, bringing a really accurate club like a QB and trying to just stick it right down there. That'll give you some distance. Like if you measured the distance from the pin to this area where you'd get versus this area, like how much do you net, or do you net anything at all? The other way is you've got a huge fairway out here. You could try and if your red line's over here to get over there, then you can definitely engage this and just go forward. But you're going to definitely want to bring some backspin stuff. I'm unsure of which way to go. I'm unsure. I know that if you come out here, you're going to have to bring a big club. It just seems like the distance here. I mean, what is this hole? They give us measurements here? They don't give us any measurements. So I'm going to try it out here just because I think most people are going to end up going to the right, and I'm going to bring some backspin stuff to get me over and see if I can stick that right on the green. And I don't know that that's even possible, but if I don't like it like that here, then the next time I come here and play, then I can play it a little different. I'm going to bring those two bags, and I'm going to bring this bag right here, and I'm going to switch it up as well, because if I can get over to the other side and bring a big topper, I could get way down in there. because you will get farther with a big topper and a Titan than you will with an extra mile and a Titan. My big topper is 2.2 per ring, and my extra mile is 2.1. So they're not that much different in accuracy. But it takes a while to get your big topper up. I played a lot of rookie tournaments, so that I don't have my epics that high, but the ones that are level 3 and below I do have, just because you can get those in rookie tournaments. It's really the only reason that I still open up level 3 chests, because I'm still looking for big toppers. A big topper is a usable club. It's not something you're going to use on every hole in every tournament, but it is a club that you will use, that you will have the opportunity to use a lot in tournaments. We got pretty good look here, so I think this is a big topper hole. And let's put on all of the top spin. I'm not going to try and get too jiggy with it. I don't want that needle going too fast. Hitting it perfect. Doing just enough overpower that it really wasn't making the needle move any faster, but just giving me as much overpower as I could get without having to take the risk of having to hit it really off. That is a bad angle. that looks like it's rough. Let's see if my opponent goes to the right. I usually, if I catch these holes in practice before we do this, like when they first come out and they're bringing out new holes, if my opponent goes forward, I go to the right. If my opponent goes to the right, I go to the left. That way I can go back and watch the video and see what kind of angles we get or what it looks like. And so from out here, we're going to be hitting into a side wind. If we hit to the other side, we're going to be hitting into a tailwind. But from the other side, we're definitely far away. So if you don't have upper developed clubs, or you don't feel good with your big dog, this might be the shot to get you on the green, just so you can play it safe. But I think I'm definitely going to have backspin clubs. Look at how much of a hill there is over here when you're hitting. So if you're hitting off of this face from the other direction, let's see if I can get there. Can I get there? Got plenty of club. Max backspin. I think it'll definitely backspin down the hill. And it looks like it's going to want to go a little bit to the left. I'm going to do just a regular ring adjustment. So it's 1.2, so there's 3.4, or there's 2.4, there's 3.6. That'll be at 10%. I'm going to do a little shy of 3. Got to hit it on the first time by. Hit it great to the right. I was running out of time. You can stick it up there. That seemed pretty easy. But you're going to have a Guardian that's got maximum backspin. If you don't, it looks like there's 2 other ways that you could come at this. There is a rough bump right there. I'm not normally a big fan of hitting against those type of hills on rough bumps, because it does take a weird bounce. But there is a rough bump that you could do from there. The other thing you could do is you could start off to the left and then bring it back to the right. I'm going to shoot this just so I can go to a shootout. Get one more look at those par 3s. That's one way to do it. I think that way right there, if you have an upper developed Guardian, is a guaranteed birdie, or excuse me, guaranteed eagle. See a lot of people having problems on some of these holes. This might be one of them. If you go to the right, there's some benefits. Benefit number 1, the wind's going with you. So you're going to have to make it's going to be easier to make the wind adjustment. However, you're going to be trying to bounce it off down in that one area, and you could see how much of a elevation change there was. So you're going to have to make a good wind adjustment, and you're going to have to know how to set your club up, so it's going to take a few times of practicing that hole to do it. If you go to the left, you can get pretty good distance out there. If I would have overpowered that, I might have been able to get up there in my long iron range, but that would have made that shot a lot riskier. Definitely a fan of doing those. Let's demo this shot. I'm going to wedge my blue rings up. I always find a spot. Wedge my blue rings up. Oh, you're going to be one of those holes where the ball guide doesn't want to engage properly. 2, 4, do about 2 1/3 rings. Getting it perfect. Let's see if the ball guide was lying and it just comes up short. Yeah, it was somewhat lying. It's going to be one of those holes where you need to be closer. You need to be closer to the pin so that you can avoid all of those moguls. That's definitely why I'm not playing that from that. I'm going to play that straightforward with backspin. That hole has, that green has so many moguls on it that the ball guide can't, it hits the hill on a mogul and it can't show you what's on the other side. So it was somewhat lying, but that will be one that you'll have to have a number. If I was on that hole right there, I would definitely, which hole was that? Is that 2? 3? If I was on that hole right there, you can see how much movement there is up here. Hey, I would definitely, you might be able to bring a bigger ball and bring your Saturn so that you could get on the other side. I'm still working on those holes. I'll go back and watch that on how that worked. All right, that was hole number 9 with a bonus par 3. So hitting it out here, you can definitely get some good distance with not a lot of effort with a 3 power ball and a big topper. Coming in towards the hole, you'd need a side spin club, or a backspin club, excuse me. Or, one of the reasons I don't like hitting on hills like this for this type of rough bump is because normally right behind that hill is the sand. And if you engage backspin, you take the risk of bouncing straight up in the air and coming into the sand. But in this situation, we would have to put topspin on it in order to fly it over the hill to get it up to the hole. And there is actually a pretty legitimate rough bump here that was definitely worth exploring. Even if you were coming at it from this angle, the thing about it from this angle is this strip of rough right here is so thin, and the wind in this tournament is going in this direction. So if you're here and you make a bad call, you make a bad adjustment, you could end up overshooting and hitting the fairway on the other side, and then you're going for a ride. Or you undershoot it and you hit it here, and then you end up going for a ride. So it could be very tricky if you're coming at it from this angle, just because the rough that you're using is so narrow. But if you were coming at it from this angle over here, you got a pretty good patch of rough here. So if you gave yourself enough room going forward, you're definitely going to have to use topspin to get on there. That's something to explore, is that there is definitely a rough bump possibility there. I came at it with a backspin club and was able to start off on the green and come at it. The other thing you could do is, if you found yourself in a spot where your club didn't have enough backspin, you could start off further to the left. Use backspin and side spin, and what you'll do is you'll set the shot up, spin your screen so that you're actually looking at the ball like this. Try and establish like you're out here. You got backspin and side spin on, and your ball guide's like right out here. And try and look at it from the side so that you're gauging the arc. And here's where the pin's at. And you're trying to gauge that arc and then apply curl to bring it the rest of the way to stick it on there. I mean, that's not a good high percentage shot. But if you didn't like having to hit from out here, because I think if you're having to hit out here, I mean, I was in this range right out here using a Guardian. And so if you're up in here, you're definitely going to be in a big dog range. So if you don't like hitting with your big dog, I would definitely come out here, but you're going to have to come at it with a game plan. Either test out that rough bump, bring a big backspin club, or you're going to have to just commit to coming out here, side spin curl to get it on the green, make your putt, get your eagle, and go home. But if you like your big dog, this is a shot, and you do have a rough bump opportunity here. I don't know where your red line would be if you were out here, but it seems like if you were out here, though, you'd have to get all, you'd want to get it all. You wouldn't want to end up short up here. And if you ended up in the rough up here, you're in trouble. Whereas if you end up in the rough down here, I would definitely want to bring a machete. That could help you out a lot. The other thing you could bring is an Amazon. And Amazon has really bad ball guide, but in this situation, you don't need ball guide because you're going to do a backspin shot. And if you've got an Amazon and it's got its backspin, an Amazon is a great club to bring because you're going to use the backspin on it. That's all you're looking for. You don't need that ball guide. All right, that was hole number 9 of the 2019 Summer Major. Thanks for watching.